Okay, so we're at the finale of House of the Dragon season 2. The episode premiered last night. Saw a lot of people doing reviews. Thought I would give my take finally on the episode. I've been thinking about this episode for a while now, and I probably won't be able to summarize everything, so maybe I'll make another video. But because it'll be a while before we get another House of the Dragon. But we are going to get a season 3, and I would say this episode was a good build up to the next season. It was kind of like, when Daenerys was on the ship, and I think it was, season 6, at the end of season 6 or whatever, and we see her on the ship and they're heading to Dragonstone. Very similar to that when we have the scene at the end where all the armies are marching, on the ground here. We got Aegon here in the bed, Larys, taking Aegon away. I forget where exactly he's taking him, but he's taking him somewhere safe on a carriage. And, at first Aegon doesn't want to go. At first he tells him, hey, let's go arrest Aemon, which I thought that was pretty interesting, So he's still, he's pissed at what Aemon did to him. And he's like, oh, just put me on my throne. I'm going to be all burnt. It's going to stab me and stuff. But once Aemon comes back, we're going to, arrest his ass. And then Larys is like, yeah, but then you don't have, the biggest dragon. And Rhaenyra's got, 7 dragons. So what do? And then, he basically talks him into leaving. So now Aemon is kind of officially the king now that Aegon is gone, but he's outnumbered all these dragons. And we get to see at the beginning of the episode, Aemon burns down this, entire freaking village. Let me see if I can find that scene here. Yeah, then, of course, we got, Mr. Tywin, or I forgot his name, the other Lannister dude. He basically, goes to make a deal with the pirates, and there's a lot of funny comic relief there. Yeah, I mean, we see Vhagar here, and we see this town that's burnt down. Let me see a blow scene here. So yeah, there's the pirate girl. She's kind of funny, she's hilarious. Yeah, so we see Vhagar sniffing with those giant nostrils. We've got Aemon there. And yeah, they're looking over at this port that they destroyed, the city they destroyed. It would have been cool to actually see Aemon burn down the city with the people in it like Daenerys did, so that we can actually get a visual of how evil this dude really is, since they're saying he's on that Daenerys season 8 level, making him basically this anime villain. But I guess it just wasn't in the budget. But come on, guys. Let's see Aemon commit some war crimes so, the audience can hate him as much as Helaena does later in this episode. Which that was another big thing in this episode. Which, again, there's so much over, so this review is going to be all over the place here. And we go jumping from scene to scene. But, and this is one of the things that leaked, was the scene between Aemon and Helaena. And Helaena tells him that he's going to die, over... what was the castle? Over at Harrenhal, in the castle, in the God's Eye. Yeah, that was it, the God's Eye River. And, she tells him, you'll be dead. And, she's got, and before this scene, she was in Daemon's vision, which is kind of interesting because, if you look at the scene, so, she's in Daemon's vision, which again, we'll go over that too. And in Daemon's vision, it was very interesting. Daemon, he's had this, which there you see the guy at the antler. It kind of looks like Robert Baratheon's outfit that he's wearing, but it could be some sort of creature from the books. And the witch, Alice, she has him put his hand on the tree, and he has this rearwood vision, which, we'll start that in a second. Hold on. Yeah, so he puts his hand on the tree, and we see Blood Raven there, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, play it again. And Blood Raven, if, you recall, he fought during the whole Blackfire Rebellion. So we're kind of seeing a vision of the future here, because Blood Raven doesn't exist yet. He, is during the Blackfire Rebellion time period after this, but we're seeing a vision of how he became Blood Raven, it appears, when he went missing and he became, basically the immortal three-eyed Raven before Bran, which he's a very interesting character. And then, we get to see the White Walkers here, which is, I don't know who this White Walker is supposed to be, one of the generals. We see a dead dragon, could be Viserion or one of other Dany's dragons. We get it's probably Viserion or Rhaegal. And we're seeing the people, they're marching. It looks like to the whites. They're going to fight the whites. And then we got Daemon here, drowning, which is foreshadowing his death here. We got the comet, and then we see Daenerys with the 3 eggs, which a lot of people are saying they see this proof that Daenerys was the prince that was promised, or the princess that was promised, which is kind of interesting that we don't see, whether you believe she's the princess that was promised or not. It's interesting that we don't see Jon Snow in this, because Jon Snow is a Targaryen, and we saw Bloodraven, we see Daenerys. The fact that we see Rhaenyra, we see Helaena in this, it's surprising that we don't see Jon Snow, since we see Daenerys. Since, I mean, he is, Aegon Targaryen. He is the heir to the Iron Throne in the main series, so it's kind of weird that they don't show him. I guess, because he's not blonde. I don't know. Or he just... They have a thing for Dany, I guess, the writers. So then we see Rhaenyra here sitting on the Iron Throne, and this is when Daemon decides that she is his queen. But then when he turns around to go back to the Aemon scene, he sees Helaena. And Helena's like, we all have a part in the story, whether it be small. And before Aemon confronts her, you see her on the ledge. This is very interesting. So it seems that she really was in Daemon's vision. Like, this isn't just Daemon hallucinating. Like, she's participating in his visions. Like, she is actually with Alicent, participating with these visions, which is kind of interesting. That she's kind of like her own, I don't know, green seer, 3-eyed witch, like whatever's going on here. And then, of course, she tells Aemon that he's going to die over the God's Eye. And then Aemon tells her, like, oh, I'm going to kill her for treason. And, he wanted her early in the episode to basically go fly out and fight Rhaenyra because he's outnumbered. And then, Rhaenyra goes and, meets with Daemon. Daemon pledges his loyalty to her after the vision. We also got some stuff this episode with Corlys and, his son, Alan. And Alan's like, listen, like, dude, you weren't here for me, when you had your trust fund baby and you were giving him all these meals and I was starving. Like, now you want to be my father? Fuck you, dude. So Alan and Corlys, there's trouble in paradise over at the Sea Salt Throne. Like, there's definitely some issues, and they're going to definitely have a, it's going to be interesting to see how that goes when they're going against the Pirates in the next season, because there's definitely some beef there. Maybe they'll reunite. And then, we got some Rhaena, like, she found a dragon, and she's just looking like strangely shocked this entire episode. Like, her whole, we just get these quick scenes of her just looking shocked. Like, she finally finds this dragon, which I think was like Sheep Stealer or something like that. We got Rhaenyra in her bed, and then she wakes up, and they tell her, oh, Alicent is here to meet with you. And Alicent basically is turning over to the Blacks, and she's saying that she's, tired. She's sorry for everything that happened now, which this is different than what happened in the book. She never reconciles with Rhaenyra. And she basically said she's okay with even Rhaenyra killing Aegon, which I was pretty surprised with that. And, so that was that. It's kind of, it was a pretty long scene. But honestly, Rhaenyra was pretty sassy in this scene. But yeah, I didn't really care for the scene that much. It doesn't really change anything whether Alicent is okay with, Rhaenyra's killing her son, or Rhaenyra winning the war, or she's on Team Green. Really doesn't change the outcome of the books. It just makes Alicent maybe more sympathetic in a way. But she's still a bad mom at the end of the day, and she still made all her decisions. So Rhaenyra really doesn't feel that sorry for her, and honestly, I don't feel really that sorry for her either. So then we got the armies marching. We got the Lannister army, and we also got the Green army here. Yeah, and there's Ulf this episode. Ulf is kind of just an asshole. There's Rhaena looking all shocked. Alicent walking out, and this is the big scene at the end. Hold on here. So we see the armies marching. So there's the Greens, and if you notice, you're going to see a dragon flying behind them. That's Alicent's other son, Darion, or whatever his name is. He's the other son. Some say, even more powerful than Aemon, even though his dragon's not as big. Definitely more capable than Aegon. but maybe not Amon. I don't know. Am I screwing up the names? I don't know. So then, we got the Greens marching. We got the Starks marching with all their bannermen. And basically, yeah, war is kicking off. War is kicking off. So it'll be interesting to see next episode. I mean, next season. Hopefully we get a lot of more battle scenes, because this is, they're saying, I think even behind the episode, that the next season's going to be like all battles. So hopefully we get that. Hopefully Daeron, Aemon, Aegon, with his burnt ass dragon. Hopefully they're all fighting on the greens. Hopefully we get to see the bastards fight. We get to see Ulf. We get to see Hugh. We get to see Daemon fighting with Caraxes. I don't know if they're gonna have the big fight yet with Daemon and Aemon in the next season. They might hold off to season 4. I mean, he's such a fan favorite character. Everybody just loves Matt Smith, so we'll see. There he is looking over the battle camp there. We got more scene with Alicent walking all dramatically. We got the Lannister dude, which, he's probably going to be getting it on with this pirate lady. I'm sure we're going to probably have some sex scenes between them in the next episode of the next season. I'm willing to bet that, 100%. And then, of course, let's see. Yeah, we got Corlys and his son, which, again, he's looking pissed. Which, honestly, is probably going to cause them a lot of trouble in battle. It's probably going to get one of them killed. That's my prediction for what's going to happen there. We got more scene with Rhaena looking all shocked. Well, she's going to claim this dragon, so she's going to get a big-ass dragon finally. And then we got Sir Otto in the jail here. Somebody captured him. So, finally, Karma has caught up to Sir Otto. He got what was coming to him. So, yeah, I mean, this episode, again, there's just so much to talk about here. I don't want to go too long here, but it was a pretty good finale. Yeah, it doesn't follow the books. Yeah, you have, weird shit with Alicent. You have, the whole issue with Daemon and the Vision, a lot of the fans have a big issue with that because it takes away a lot of the agency of Daemon. They wanted him to just have the character development and make the decision on his own without a Vision to serve Rhaenyra. Also, the thing I have a problem with personally is not the Vision. It's more of that everything seems to be set in stone. Helena basically says that you can't change anything. And that kind of sucks because it means that there's basically no free will in the Game of Thrones universe and everything's destined to happen, which is just kind of sucks. Like, you can't have alternate timeline or anything. Everything is just set in stone no matter what you do, all leading up to this big battle that ultimately really didn't matter that much with Arya stabbing the Night King, and we couldn't really see much. I mean, it kind of sucks that everything was just leading to that, and there was literally nothing they could do to change it. I mean, I don't expect them to change the main story, but the fact that we're learning that in the Game of Thrones universe, you can't, even if you wanted to, you can't even have an alternate universe. Everything is just set in stone. That kind of is a letdown. I do kind of wish that there was some degree of free will in the Game of Thrones universe, and that wasn't just everything wasn't set in stone. That kind of sucks. I mean, that really shows you from, the death of Cersei's kids to everything that happened in this series to what happened with Daenerys, with Bran saying that everything was going to happen, what happened with the Night King. It was just all destined to happen, and nobody had free will all these hundreds of years. That kind of sucks that it was all destined to happen and that you can't change anything. That's kind of a bummer. But yeah, that was my quick review. I'm sure after this review I'll be like, oh shit, I forgot to mention something, and I'll probably come back at some point and talk about anything that I've missed. But yeah, just wanted to do this quick review. Honestly, I really like this season. Yeah, it wasn't as good as the first season, but it was still really good. I mean, Game of Thrones is definitely back. Can't say that it's bad. This is definitely better than season 7 and season 8 of Game of Thrones. 100% on that. But yeah, I'm going to give this episode a 9 out of 10. We'll go 9 out of 10. My only issue is the whole free will thing, and honestly, like the scene with Alicent was a little too long when she's kind of an irrelevant character at this point that has no power. But Other than that, yeah, I'd say it was a really good episode, really good build up for the next season that we're gonna get. So, yeah, 9 out of 10. Wherever you are, don't forget to like, don't forget to follow. It is greatly appreciated. And peace out.